all had a refreshing lunch and some great conversation during this break. And you all are re-energized for the next panel discussion. So now that we are energized, it's time to continue our journey into the future of dentistry. A future that begins not in clinics but in classrooms and training centers across the world. Because the next generation of oral health professionals will define how dentistry evolves, how it adapts to technology, responds to patient needs, and remain rooted in empathy and excellence. Yes, we are talking about AI, digital health. This session is all about reimagining education so that every young dentist entering into the workforce tomorrow is not just clinically sound, but globally competent, ethically strong, and emotionally intelligent. Because the future of dental workforce isn't only about training, it is about transforming in how we think, teach, and inspire. And to help us explore the vital theme, we have brought together some of the most respected educators, researchers, and institution leaders from across the India. So now I would like to invite our speakers for the panel discussion and request everyone to please join me in welcoming them. Dr. Shalini Kapoor, Director, Research and Development Cell at SGT University, Gurugram. Let's welcome her with a round of applause. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Amrita Chawla, Additional Professor, Division and Conservative Dentistry and Orthodontics Center for Dental Education and Research, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. Welcome, Dr. Amrita. Let's have a round of applause for her. I think we all are energized after lunch, so this clap could be more louder. Dr. P. Narayana Prasad, Principal, Seema Dental College and Hospital, Rishikesh. Thank you, sir. Dr. Rekha Gupta, Head of Department and Senior Professor, Department of Orthodontics, Maulana Azad Institute of Dental Sciences. Professor Kia Sarkar, Dean and Professor, Faculty of Dental, Jamia Millia Islamia University. Now I would like to invite our moderator for the session, Dr. Reena Kumar, Orthodontist and Academic Director, Indian Academy of Sports Dentistry, Indian Dental Association, Regional Clinic Advisor, Special Olympics Asia Pacific. Thank you so much to all the speakers for joining. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
So good afternoon, everyone. We're back into coming back after the very lovely lunch that we've had together and very great networking. It was lovely meeting friends and making new ones. That was most important. Meeting old ones, meeting dear students, colleagues, and making new ones. Very wonderful. So right here on behalf of the entire panel, I'd like to thank Voice of Health for bringing this together, because today we have come together to address a very simple question, but a very urgent one, as to what should we really do with our workforce? How do we go about looking to see how do we prepare our workforce for the future? A big thank you and shout out to each one of my panelists for being here. So, in this session, what we will do is we'll make it quick, because I know we're running short of time. So we'll try and make it really quick. We'll do a little cross-talk. So we'll try and bridge it to see how we can bring it from the classroom, academia, taking it to be industry-ready, all our students, and very importantly to see what is the technology. Today we are all talking about technology. Today we are all talking about empathy. We are all talking about IQ and EQ. So how can we really build that into it, right? Thank you so very much. So I will just take one quick round with you all, each one of you. So if you would like to say that what should be the one competency that we would like our future dental workforce to have, could you just give me one question? Move to the next slide. Oh, that's okay. So what is a competency? I'd like you to just say, just tell me any one word that you think you would like your student to have.
Know your digital dentistry.
Okay. So it's all digital here.
I'll say learn the basics first.
Okay, here.
a global perspective.
I believe inclusion of emerging technologies into your traditional teaching.
Critical excellence and interdisciplinary teamwork. Today what we're talking about is medical type dentistry. We're not looking at dentistry per se. All morning we've been saying how dentistry is not just teeth alone, so how we're talking about the interdisciplinary team. Very important is to be lifelong learners and be research oriented with the research mindset. I would like my student to have a digital fluency with, of course, ethical reasoning, because we just heard about the brain rot, and of course, leadership and soft skills. Very importantly. And community centered, because if we can't take our community along together, I think we can do nothing after that. So, Dr. Amrita, you're my first choice and you're right next to me. So I go with a question for you, which would be, sorry. Yes. So how can an academic institution better align our curriculum with the evolving needs of clinical practice and patient care to make our students practice ready?
Thank you, ma'am, for this question. First of all, thank you to UI for inviting us. And I just wanted to say and question all of us here, because we all are seniors. Is the curriculum actually what we are teaching today in par with what the current medicine requires? My answer from all Indian Institute would be no. Because with the evolving technology, changing dental materials, changing this knowledge of science, it's advancing every year. We need to be upgrading our curriculum at every step so that we are at par to deliver what kind of medicine or dentistry we require today.
Fantastic.
So for that, we need to give an environment to the department where we are integrating dentistry, the education we are doing, as well as the technology we're giving. So we need to embrace creativity and digital dentistry.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amrita. So if I can quickly take you to give me one particular thing that you would like to fix, whatever you think is the most misaligned just now currently, what is it that you could fix, have fixed, or would like to fix?
I think the misuse of digital dentistry,
All right.
because our students are just using them left, right and center with no knowledge. So for example, they are making seminars on chat GPTs and all without even reading the textbook, without even understanding the basic science in it, and just presenting. And when we are asking them to do critical thinking, they are unable to do that.
Fantastic.
So the knowledge to what keywords to be put in chat GPT or certain platforms like that need to be given or educated, and we can't tell them not to use it because that's the need of the hour. We all are doing it. So we need to educate ourselves as mentors, and at the same time,
I love that. I love that, Dr. Amrita. It was such a wonderful thing what you said and brought out, that use of technology, but ethical use of technology and with knowledge and with empowerment is what we need to do for our students. Thank you so much. We'll move on to Dr. Narayan Prasad. So, in your experience, can collaborations between dental colleges, hospitals and private clinics enhance the practical training and clinical readiness of our students? I'll just tell you why I brought this from Amrita, because I felt that the curriculum is something that is the most important thing and the easiest and probably a difficult part also that we could kind of address. So hence I'm taking it to you that if it is difficult, can we kind of look at other ways by which we can, improve our students' outcomes, clinical training outcomes?
Good afternoon, one and all. Stronger collaboration between dental colleges, hospitals, and private clinics is essential to bridge the gap between academic learning and real-world clinical practice. Integrated models of shared clinical exposure, structured mentorship, and inter-institutional rotations can significantly enhance the competence, confidence, and skill diversity of emerging dental professionals. Moreover, the amalgamation of various dental specialties within hospital setting fosters a holistic understanding of patient care and promotes a more collaborative and efficient work environment. Establishing academic clinical partnerships, continuing education hubs, and mentorship networks further cultivates adaptability, interdisciplinary growth, and culture of lifelong learning, preparing the next generation of dentists to meet evolving healthcare challenges with excellence and innovation.
I love that, Dr. Narayan. But yes, how would we do this? We would have to work it through some kind of MOU, some kind of collaborations, some kind of stuff. Now, when we are making a collaboration, when we are making an MOU, I think my panelists, the rest of the panelists also, I'd like to, like you and also many of us to think around here as to how do we look at supervision. Do we make some kind of an arrangement that some supervision is done by us, some by that? How are the metrics are we going to look at? What is going to happen? What is the checklist? Do we have a logbook for that? I think collaborations are great. Whether it is a hospital outside our colleges, whether it's a private clinic, or whether it's whatever, or with some other organization. But I think metrics is what we have to think about, and we, as academicians or policymakers, we need to really look into this and probably keep that in mind. Thank you so much for that. So I take the next question to Dr. Shalini. So Dr. Shalini, you're coming from a very, very important sector which we have, which is the, today's world, we say everything depends on that because that's where it comes from. So again, when we are on curriculum and improving teaching and looking at how can we get it better for our students. So what innovative teaching methodologies using technology do you see as often most effective in preparing students for real-world clinical challenges? So if you can give me one high-impact pipeline which has come out of your cell.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I think that one important thing is that teaching pedagogical techniques need to be addressed on, but inclusion of the emerging technologies into the teaching curriculum is the need of the time. You have to introduce this digitalization, virtual platforms into the teaching curriculum as well as practical learning. So if I say we don't want to create students only to do the treatment, we want them to be critical thinkers, there should be problem-solving attitude of the students, as well as we need to develop them with good communication skills. So I think the best techniques which we have applied, I found best for dentistry was PBL techniques, problem-based learning, case-based learning, and flipped classroom that has turned really successful for us.
So you have worked with flipped classrooms?
Yes.
How has the success been with that? What is the success story there?
How the success
if you can just
story,
give us a 30
the
second on that.
percentage, what happens in basically, each of us know what is flipped classroom, that the basic subject learning, the subject reading is done before the class happens, and in the class there is one-to-one interaction among the students and the teachers. So what is happening that 1 hour is class, is intensive class, where the students comes with their doubts and solves the problem with the teacher.
So you've done the metrics of it? You
Yes,
took a metric
yes,
sheet and
yes.
it came out to be very, very useful?
Yes, yes.
What is the other thing that we're looking at? Is anybody else who would like to talk about it? Because there's so much happening in the, really
Just
would like to
add
know.
on to this, this is very important. We need to get out of the classroom learning and go back to one-on-one teaching, because we are talking about specialities. We're not talking about bachelors. We're talking about post-graduation. So they need to have a one-on-one understanding, go on smaller niche clinical topics so that they can easily understand, assimilate it, and then take it to the clinical practice.
Dr. Amrita, yours is a postgraduate institute, but we are very concerned about undergraduates just now. So we'd really like to know what are the other newer technologies, which of course I would like everybody out in there to also think about, as to what is it that we can, and it's not difficult. You know, the virtual reality which is there, I think, which can be used very easily, and it has come into it. So we really need to give it a thought. Has anybody thought of it
We
at
can
all?
give on simulated labs.
Yes, simulated labs, that's right. Especially that the anatomy labs have already been used, surgical labs have been used, and things like that. Thank you so much, Dr. Shalini. I'll come to Dr. Kea as the Dean of a very important institution. So I would now look at, so we looked at MOUs, we looked at recent colleges, hospitals and things like that. Yeah, thank you so much. So how can global partnerships and international collaborations elevate the quality of dental education in India? Can we do that?
Thank you, Dr. Reena. And first of all, thank you to VOH for inviting me to this lovely panel. I think we would all agree that there's a huge gap between what we teach in our dental colleges and real-life dental practice. Now, that means there has to be a curriculum redevelopment, which has been also talked about for a long time. And so that's where I think, do we really need to reinvent the wheel? We need to do global collaborations. We have to have a global perspective to learn from successful curricula which have been, in place in so many countries over so many years. Automatically, the students will learn about emerging technologies, and once they are globally comparable, then it's also going to open up pathways for careers and movement of dentists, both internationally, as well as for students from other countries to come and study in India, which is also another very important area.
Cross-cultural learning is very
Yeah,
important.
so global collaboration is not only for us, but is also for students to come and study in India.
Thank you so much for that perspective. I was just wondering, are we talking about students going across to the country, another country, or are they coming across here? What are we looking at? I mean, what was the
We are
thought
talking
process?
about students from international students, as they say, foreign students coming and studying in India.
What about our students?
And our students, we don't want them to go and study there. We want them to study here. But through collaborations, there can be student exchange programs, there can be faculty exchange programs, whereby they get exposure to, different clinical protocols, which probably are in place in private practice, but is not in the institutions.
Thank you
So
so
we need
much.
to incorporate.
If you permit,
Yes,
I
of
would
course,
like
of
to
course,
add
Shani.
something. We are
Of course.
talking about student exchange. Are student going there or they are coming here?
Just hold it closer, Rekha.
Yeah. I would like to say that we can get the best of all. There are certain things that are better at, I'll say, in different countries. So recently we had a student exchange program. And what I learned from that, the kind of patients, the kind of problems we are having here.
Our
and
students went across.
Boston
students
students came to us. So they were not able to, the things that they have seen only in the books, we had the real patients there. So that kind of exposure we can provide to them. And there are certain technologies.
I'm little disagreeing here because I'm not looking at Russia's or somebody else's workforce. I'm looking at Indian workforce, Indian dental workforce. So I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but what I would like to think about is that I would say if we had to really push our students to go across in our country, which is, let's say it's a third world, we are developing country still. So it is cost intensive, it is labor intensive, it is logistic intensive. So would you like to use technology? Now my question comes to you, K.I. Would you like to use technology to have virtual classrooms and co-taught modules?
Yeah, I mean, these technologies, the virtual technology, the possibility of doing whatever is possible online so that you reduce costs. Whatever is possible, the theory part of it can be done. But then, like we said, we can't have dental teaching online during COVID. You do need a physical exposure there to really learn. And yes, there is a cost factor, but then I think it will pay off. If one is competent, ultimately competency is what matters. When you go into the real world and have to get into practice, competency is most important.
My panel on agreement that in India, in my college, in your college, maybe in one odd college we can, not send all our students to Europe or to America to do a 6-month or 6-week program. Are we all in agreement with that?
We cannot send.
We cannot send,
no.
right. If we cannot send, can we not give them exposure to that education through a virtual classroom?
Definitely,
We can,
definitely.
right.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what I wanted. So technology can be used. We can use their resources and we can have co-taught modules. Could we do a co-taught module
Yeah,
also?
MOOCs, develop MOOCs in collaboration with international organizations.
Yeah, but MOOCs is, like, as you said, you require a teacher somewhere along.
Yeah,
MOOCs is
correct,
not something
correct.
which is... So now we come to Rekha. Rekha, thank you so much. This was really interesting and very interactive. I'm not looking at the lady there because she might make eyes at me, so to finish fast. So, Dr. Rekha, how can educators promote a culture of research and innovation among dental students from the early stages of training? So we'll look at that.
The key term here is early stages. So I'll say we just talked about PGs and UGs. So we are doing the most of the research, whatever we are doing, that is focused during the PG curriculum. Undergraduates mostly are not involved in research programs. So I would say, though the government has taken initiative and started a lot of programs now, so I would say that is the need of the hour. We have to inculcate that research or the habit of questioning and critical thinking and reasoning into the students from a very early stage, from the preclinical stage. So probably we can introduce the research, say teaching, the methods, the tools. In the curriculum itself, we have been talking about modifying the curriculum. So the curriculum itself is very tedious. So if we make it a part of the curriculum itself, that introduce them to the basic research methodology right from the beginning. Motivate your students to ask questions. Just don't mug up the things that this is the definition you have to
I will
learn.
stop you at this point and ask you, is there a way? Is there a way? Because now we have two deans here. Is there a way that we can make sure that every undergraduate student can do a small project?
Yes,
which
yes.
can be a IRB, which can be
Yes.
institutional, ethical committee cleared project.
It has to
Can
be.
it be done? No. Can it be done is the question. Can it be done?
It can be done. And it should be done.
No. I'm talking about postgraduate,
Undergraduate,
UG as well.
yes.
Because ICMR does fund those projects.
Yes.
So
The
how many do we
STS
have?
fund.
How many do we have? Now the question comes. Can we get every student to do one project so that we can inculcate? Yes, Shalini, I think you want to say something.
Ma'am, if I talk about the story
I
of
can't hear
SGT,
you.
the story of SGT, each undergraduate student is doing a research project, and research is an additional subject from this year onwards for the undergraduate curriculum as per the NAP guidelines. So they have an elective as research, and that is a great initiative by government. Then ICMR STS project.
Yes.
Almost 20% of our students get through that ICMR's STS scholarship projects, which are research projects.
Wonderful.
Now they have
That's
shifted
wonderful.
from final year to first year. First and second year are applying for those projects.
This is
Ma'am,
fantastic.
there has to be some motivation, some rewards behind that. So probably that way we can motivate
My
our
question
students
next,
to
you
do.
took it out of my mouth literally. You snatched it out of my mouth.
And this is very much, this is also very much in alignment with NEP 2020. So research, definitely we have been encouraging this from the first year for many years.
So what we should think about is, how can we, without stretching the curriculum, because the curriculum is already packed, as rightly said by all of us, without stretching the curriculum, without extending the course, how do we ensure that we find, so as a university, Shalini is able to do it in SGT because you see it's a university, they can do what they want. But when you're with the DCI alone as a standalone college, how do we make sure that we can make it that every student in the undergraduate, right from the early ages, can do one small project?
Ma'am, I would like to answer that.
Incentive batao.
Incentive could be in the form of small scholarships or recognition, simple recognition, a certificate, or giving some extra credits to them that can help maybe when they are applying for a PG program, for a PhD program. So they get some incentive if they have done any research. So probably that will be a good motivating factor for them.
Dr. Amrita, I'm going to ask you this question, though it is yours a postgraduate college, but I'd like you to, because you're at the institutional, the highest level of institution that we have. So do you think that these projects, suppose we can motivate all our faculty all over all those colleges to make sure that these projects which our students do, can they become SOPs, clinical SOPs, or can they become publishable material such that they are published?
Yes, that's the main thing.
Surprised because I've been part of the ICMR STS program and we review certain projects given by undergraduates. They are amazing. Sometimes I have to tell my postgraduates, look at the innovation they've done. So we just have to kind of spark that innovative idea, whether it's a postgraduate or an undergraduate.
So the need is there now for undergraduate journals. There is only one in the country that I know of. And if we can have a journal, and which is going to probably encourage more of undergraduates to be, and we can get that as a collective group probably, not hanging on to it that is mine and it is mine and mine, whatever, such that for the collective good of our workforce.
And I think more of conferences, workshops at undergraduate level, not exclusively the specialty wise or the postgraduate level, can also boost
So
that.
we have to make our conferences such that they are able to come and present their work there, rather than have more of, dancing and singing is nothing wrong, but besides that also life as their
Specialty
workforce development
associations.
has to happen.
Additional marks.
Yes. So Amrita, I have a question for you, which was like, we spoke so much about technology, but I believe, that's my personal belief, that the humankind has to develop. All right? So what is it that we are doing in our classrooms or in our very filled curriculum to actually develop the humankind? And do you think that you'd like to add something as to what can be done or what we should look at?
See, especially at AIMS, it is very disturbing because we have now Gen Z, which we call them. They are all focused on what they want to do, what they are putting on their reels, what they are putting on social media. Oh, this is a case, I've done a root canal, I've done it fantastically well, and they want the likes in it. Irrespective of the fact that whether they've taken a patient's consent, whether they've maintained the confidentiality or not, those aspects where we come in as mentors, we need to engrave it the day they join their postgraduate program.
That's ethics we're talking about, ethics.
Soft skills, they need to come. At AIMS, students are coming from pan-India. Even the patients are coming from all walks of life. You have to have that communication. between the patient and a postgraduate, between your ground staff, between your chairside attendant, so that you develop the empathy for the patient, you understand what this patient wants, the requirement.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amrita. I'll take it to Dr. Shalini because she has a university. So I'd just like to know, have you inculcated soft skills training for your students, undergraduate students in your university?
Pardon, ma'am?
Have you inculcated any soft skills training
Yes,
program for the undergraduate classes?
Ma'am, we have a complete soft skill training center within the university wherein the students go for their regular training. Maybe it be medical, may it be dental, may it be agriculture. So we have those specific soft skill training centers. In respect specifically to the dentistry skills, we are doing those soft skill training within the departments, not per se as a center.
What would you say, Dr. Narayan, about soft skills? We have to include soft skills. Why? Why do we need to include soft skills, Dr. Kea?
Absolutely essential. I mean, we read about all the negative interactions that happen between patients and doctors. And mostly, I think it is because of breakdown in the communication or lack of good communication. All that comes through and is taught in, I think the medical education unit calls it ATCOM. So it's your attitude, ethics and communication, which is taught in the soft skills thing. We've been doing it for several years now
That's what
as workshops.
The patient's outcome.
Correct,
That's the
correct.
ultimate
Because
goal.
that's
I
absolutely.
think the important thing, as we heard from Dr. Anmol Kala, who gave a wonderful presentation here, who said, it's a human being you're dealing with. It's not an out of human being system. So it is how you reach the heart and the mind of the patient I think that's the difference between a doctor and a great doctor, an extraordinary doctor, probably the little extra. The soft skill, I think, is the little extra that we all need to concentrate on. We'll go to the last question for you, Dr. Kea, which would be what workforce planning strategies can we help ensure a sustainable, well-distributed dental workforce? Now, today we had Dr. Avasthi giving us the statistics, of how many dental colleges we have, how many dental surgeons we have, registered dental surgeons, what is it about the rural and distribution. So this urban-heavy distribution that we have, and Dr. Anil Kohli also spoke about it. So how do we kind of make it such that now we are going to get it more equitable distribution?
Yeah, I think this is about using technology, but also about curriculum development, which is to make it competency-based. And for that, the faculty need to be trained. I think whenever the curriculum, competency-based curriculum is rolled out, the first challenge is going to be that the faculty, us teachers, have to be able to know how to teach that new curriculum. So that, I think, is something which is going to take time, and perhaps that should happen ASAP.
Thank you, Dr. Kea. I was just wondering how could we motivate our students to go and work in the rural areas? Because so far we are talking about it's very urban heavy, and our distribution is all skewed up completely.
Yes,
How do we do that?
the rural infrastructure in the primary health centers and medical centers needs to improve. We have students who are selected through the state commissions, and they are made to do file work in the PHCs because there's no dental chair there.
So one input, we've got a very good input, is that we need to improve the infrastructure at the government centers itself. Anything else?
Then we'll encourage the students to go.
Anything else?
Telemedicine, teledentistry.
Teledentistry, anything else? Teleconsultation, anything else? But then our students are not going there.
We need to make them aware about
Then
the ground
teleconsultation,
route.
but no teledentistry can happen, no?
Yeah, we need to make or sensitize our students to the ground reality, the problems that our country is having and our people are having.
Shalini, I'm going to throw one question to you now, which is towards this itself. Do you think I should put a bonded rotation, that you have to go per person? West Bengal government had it, that you have to sign a bond at the time of joining, that you have to go and work in the rural, or do you think I should incentivize it? Dr. Shalini.
I think they should be given the opportunity to work in the rural to understand the real problems what our
A
country
child
is
who has
facing.
taken a loan, whose father has taken a loan, he's going to say, work in the urban, get the money back, we have to pay back. So how are you going to change that mindset? I just want to hear this because community setting is what I'm bringing about, and I'm bringing about the change in how we're going to do the demographic changes.
Ma'am, one thing is,
Yes,
I'm
please,
saying,
please.
work satisfaction is also one thing. Like ma'am said that at most of the PHCs, the setup is not that good. So first thing that we need to do is improve that, make that workable, enjoyable, whatever they have done. They should feel that they are able to accomplish or they are able to give back something, not just wasting their time. So probably if we do that.
How do we build that empathy and that care in our community, which is a growing community, Gen Z, as you said rightly? How do we make them into good human beings is, I think, one of the biggest challenges. And of course, the curriculum changes, adapting to technology in a big way, in the right way, ethical way, while we are promoting a very important research mindset with evidence base. So do we have a rubric, is my question. Do we have a rubric?
I think they need to follow. So we as mentors need to tell, show and do.
Excellent, excellent. So faculty development. So we have been talking about how do we kind of work on our students? How are we going to get our workforce ready? Before that, self. We have to get ourselves ready. It's only when we get ourselves ready is when we are going to be able to get our students ready. Do we have a rubric for that? Do we have a rubric for quality control, assessment? If we are going to be doing something, do we have that? And role of faculty development. And I think today it was said that how, we tried, Dental Council of India tried, Dr. Anil Kohli tried to put up a all India faculty development, and for whatever reason, I don't know, it did not go through. We just heard about it in the morning.
Ma'am, one thing, yes, I want to say you talked about assessment. So that is a very important aspect, that we need to change the assessment methods also. So what we are assessing currently is they have learned something, they have put down it on the paper. So we were talking about communication, empathy. So if we make that part also as assessment, assessing on those grounds, then probably initially it may be forced kind of thing, but gradually it will get inculcated in their behavior.
Fantastic. 360 degree.
Yes.
360 degree, learning leadership skills, soft skills, taking the teamwork along, getting interdisciplinary, learning to work with the new technology, learning to, work as a team member. And I think, as I say, change, and this is well said by Robin Sharma. I put it up there, change is hard at first. We all have to change. It's messy in the center, but it gets gorgeous at the end, I think. So that's one of the things. So that with this, I'd like to kind of say, I think I'm in time, Yashashri. Have I done it well in time? She's not bothered, so we are doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. And I cannot say how grateful I am for my wonderful panelists and for being so enthusiastic and coming up with everything that they had to put in. Thank you for all the discussions. And thank you so much, audience, and thank you, BOH, for this. Yes, please, there's a question. We'll take that. We'll take that with the permission. Can we?
Oh, ma'am, we have very short time. Sure.
First and the last, you're a lucky guy, I spotted you. What's your name, please? You're a BDS student?
So the question is, we're all learning skills in our colleges, but no one is teaching us what to do after it. So the entrepreneurship skills is required after you graduate from college is what we're lacking. And in the colleges we're not taught, so we're not ready for the market.
I think you brought out a very nice point, Gautam, am I right? Gautam, about because we need to build, I'm sorry I missed it in this because that was something in my head which I thought I would talk about, that we need to build an entrepreneurial mindset because when the parents come to us, I'm sure to all of you, they're asking, where is the job? But dentistry is where you have to actually start making jobs rather than, looking for a job.
It's more like of a skill-based thing. So the
I
skill,
agree.
you should be a
Let's
job
all
giver
put our
rather
hands
than a job
together and
taker.
clap for Gautam. He stood up and he asked the question. Take that into consideration, and in the white paper, if it is going to be made, I'm certain we will get this put in. From my side, I will get it put in. I missed it out. Apologies for that. And thank you for bringing it in. Thank you.
Much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Reena, for excellently moderating this panel discussion. We all would agree that we really had enjoyed this. So thank you so much to all our speakers here. Now, I would like to request Dr. Reena to please felicitate the fellow panelist, Dr. Shalini Kapoor. Let's have a round of applause. Dr. Amrita Chawla. Dr. P. Narayana Prasad. Thank you, sir. Dr. Rekha Gupta. Professor Kia Sirkar. Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to invite Ms. Pinky Chahar to please come on stage and felicitate Dr. Reena Kumar for beautifully moderating this wonderful session. Yes, ma'am, we'll definitely. Now let's have a group picture, please.